Welcome back to Sports Guys Talk Sports. That's us. I'm Sports Guy 1. That's Sports Guy 2 over there. And that's Templar 10, and I'm Chino. We did a couple of weeks ago, before COVID happened, we talked and did an AFC divisional or conference preview. Can't really do a preview now. I guess we kind of can. We can do a preview for weeks 2 through 18, maybe. Is that okay? We have already had almost one full weekend of football, starting on Thursday, Friday, college football on Saturday, which is totally delightful, and then Sunday, and then we have our Monday night game. But we wanted to come back and we wanted to talk the NFC today. Knowing what we know about some of the games, we will take that into consideration. I think you and I can... I don't know that my mind was changed a whole lot about the NFC, and I guess that's my first question to you. After the first week of games, has anything changed for you in terms of who you see coming out of the NFC?
Not well, maybe a little bit of movement in the NFC North. We'll have to talk about that based on week one. But
okay.
Probably not significantly, because I mean it's hard to know. I think from week one, and it's hard to make too many. I think if you look good in week one, that's great. I think teams that look poor in week one, it's always kind of hard to know because a lot of teams don't play any other starters in the preseason.
True.
We can get into it specifically, but like sometimes teams just start flat. So it's hard to know, like, is this team actually bad, or did they just have a rough opening game, or like, whatever. So I would say probably not. It wasn't moved a lot, but I am reconsidering a few things, I would say.
One thing I will say is that the Dolphins are way worse than I thought they were going to be. They were terrible.
I am pretty confident because the Patriots didn't look great in their opening week either. So they didn't look bad, but the Jets, like
oh man,
I mean the Steelers won, but the Jets looked pretty solid.
Yes, they did.
Apparently the Bills-Ravens game last night was an absolute banger. I only saw the final score. I didn't watch it. I was just doing some other stuff.
Dude, watch the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, I think I need to. Like 41-40, like absolute comeback, like absolute banger of a game. So yeah, the Jets after week one. The Steelers, I mean, seem legit after week one. I mean, they won it out, and I think the Jets are a good team.
Yeah,
we'll see. So, but NFC, I don't think it moved it a ton, but
let's start with the East. Let's start with the East, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to do just like we did. We're going to talk about the winners we think are going to come out of each division, and then we're going to talk about the 3 wild cards we think are also going to come out, and we'll place these. So we got NFC East, the Commanders, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Giants. I see the Eagles taking this one. I just do.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday the Commanders won a pretty ugly game against the Giants.
Sure.
Like, I think the Giants are kind of atrocious. Like,
yes.
During that game was just like, woof. Like, like their D line is very strong. They have a good pass rush, so they will make it difficult for some teams. And I think they did make it difficult for the Commanders. But like, that was a win's a win. You take. It's fine. Mm-hmm. So no shade at the Commanders, but like that was kind of an unimpressive win for me, for them. So we've talked about it, but I think the Commanders overachieved last year. So like I expect them to be good this year, but I think this talk about like NFC Championship and like all that, it's like, we'll see, maybe Jaden Daniels will get even better and he can kind of carry them to that. But I think they really significantly overachieved, especially in the playoffs last year. So I don't know. I expect the Eagles to do it, although that Eagles-Cowboys game, I guess divisional stuff is always closer than you expect, but like I really didn't think the Cowboys would be in that game. So I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of that. Are the Cowboys better than I thought they would be, or are the Eagles maybe just starting a little slow and like they just didn't start out the greatest?
I think it's more that I can't stand either of those teams. Those are like two of the teams that I wish were just kind of like, I don't know, you guys go play in Antarctica for the rest of your time. Like, I can't stand either of you. And even then, I was like rooting for the Eagles to beat the Cowboys, and watching some of that, you know, they were hyped up from the spit and all the thing at the very beginning, and you know, like there was a whole lot of stuff happening there. I don't think I think the Eagles are gonna. I think they're gonna be just fine. I think they're gonna destroy everybody.
Yeah, that's probably where I would come down as well. That it was just a bit of a slower start for them, and obviously they won the game. So I mean,
Yeah.
but like I honestly didn't think that game would be that competitive.
No.
Because the Cowboys like passing offense should be decent, obviously with CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. Like so, certainly they can throw the ball, but can't really run the ball. Their defense isn't that good,
Mm.
although they played okay. But also from I think I didn't watch all of that game. I think like I saw someone saying that the Eagles dropped like 3 potential
Yeah.
picks of Dak, so
Yes, they
like
did.
it maybe could have been much more one-sided than it actually ended up being.
Yes.
And that can always happen. So yeah, I still think Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, I think is pretty safe. I think
Yeah.
the Commanders will be good enough to be finishing second, and I think
Mhm.
they'll make the playoffs.
Mhm.
The Cowboys, I just think like the
It's gonna.
defense isn't enough. You gave away your best player. Doesn't really matter what you got for him. Like you gave away a top 3 pass rusher in the NFL, and you can't run the ball. So like you can throw the ball, and that's about it. And so yeah, I just don't see them doing it.
Speaking
And the
of.
Giants are a train wreck. So
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about them. Speaking of giving away your best player, the person or the team they gave it away to was the Packers. The Packers, I'm going to say, roundly defeated the Lions yesterday, and it kind of hurt to
yeah,
watch. It was not. You know, in the States we have Tony Romo. I think Tony Romo is still like I think he's your commentator too. He did call Jordan Love Jared Love, I think a couple times. I can't stand Tony Romo as a commentator. I think his time is just done. Oh, Jim, it's just get out of here with that. But one thing they were both trying to do was to say like, oh, it's going to take the Lions some time, you know, 2 new coordinators. And while I get that, there was something missing yesterday. And I'm not saying the sky is falling in, but it felt like there was a zip that wasn't there. And I don't know what it was, man. Like this is not a Lions podcast, of course, but I don't know. How did you feel coming out of that game yesterday?
I think I had convinced myself, at least partly, that like they would be fine, and that like maybe if the offense a step back, the defense like might actually be better, might kind of even out. I guess I shouldn't be that shocked at the outcome because I mean, thinking back to last year, like the Lions started flat last year too.
That's true. That's
Like
true.
they started flat against the Rams and against the Bucs in the first 2 weeks last season, and that was with Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. So they came out flat in this one, and again, like I mentioned earlier, like none of the starters on the Lions played in preseason.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and so they flat like last year, whereas last year the Rams were playing with like a ramshackle offensive line. Hutchinson dominated, and Stafford was under pressure the whole game, and the Lions kind of were able to get away with it and then run the ball well enough in overtime to win.
Yep, that's true.
But then they did lose to the Bucs, and again in a board game where they came out pretty flat. So like I'm not that concerned because it reminds me of last year. I do have some concerns in terms of the coordinator stuff because like why do you have Aiden Hutchinson dropping into coverage?
Oh, dude,
like,
it drove me freaking nuts. That one touchdown, I was like, why is he flaring out? He's Aiden Hutchinson. Like, have him pass rush. This is what he does.
Yeah. Why, like, you have him and Davenport dropping into coverage on plays. And it's like, that's like, you're just trying to be too creative, I think. And then the play calling, I think, from on the other side wasn't really great either.
No.
Like, okay, man, like, I get the swing pass to the running back, but like, and maybe Goff was just under too much pressure, which he seemed to be, that it just, you know, there just wasn't time for anything to develop. But like, you need to try to take some shots. Like, you need to push things down a little bit. You can't just do everything short. So like, on one hand, they came out flat like they did last year. So like, I'm not going to act like that is that shocking. But within that loss, there's also some stuff that was like, okay, that's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Terry and Arnold didn't look good, which is
Nope.
unfortunate because I'd hoped he was going to take a step and coming out of camp, it sounded like he was going to. Hutch didn't really do much of anything, which is
Nope.
also disappointing because again, coming out of camp, it sounded like he was going to do well. The offensive line project, I think we understand now, is that. From
I will
what
give Hutch a little credit. He hasn't played a lot of football in the last year, so it's going to take him a little bit to get his sea legs. And there was one bright shining spot. Jahmyr Gibbs is still really freaking good, and I will say, anytime he got the ball, he looked like he'd never really broke anything because it was like all of these shoelace ankle tackles that were happening. But man, he reminds me, he's doing what Saquon Barkley does and is unheralded. Saquon Barkley just runs north to south. Jahmyr Gibbs just runs north to south, except he's just quick. Like he's like a stronger Barry Sanders. That's what he feels like.
Yeah, but the interior of that offensive line is tough. Like Mahogany didn't have a good game, which he did last year in his couple starts. I was hopeful there. Glasgow is not like.
No, Penny Sewell is the only one I can trust.
So it's not just that they were flat, but the things that we were worried about ended up being pretty significant problems in this game. So that is also trouble. Maybe it'll be a few weeks and maybe they will kind of get it together and we'll see. I expect them to improve because they did last year after the first couple weeks also. So, but their schedule is harder this season and there just isn't a lot of runway to be able to improve. So I guess the question then becomes I was going to pick the Lions to finish first. I still kind of believed in them enough. I don't know if you were going to or not previously, but did that game change your thought about where they're going to finish?
I was going to pick them to finish second in the division. Anyway, I was going to go Packers Lions. Simply because I just, the loss of coordinators, I've been saying it since they both left. That's huge. That takes a year to reorient some things, reorient recruitment, reorient even your coaching philosophy, reorient how everybody talks to each other. And the Packers got better. And not just Micah Parsons better, but they looked like they had another year of a quarterback under their belt. Jordan Love wasn't dancing. Again, that's the Lions weren't really pressuring him a ton, but he wasn't doing that sort of dance that he did last year. And I think if they can keep him solid, he's a good quarterback. He's not super elite, but he's good. And I think he can fire them. I also think that the Bears and the Vikings just they're unproven, and I don't think they have enough firepower right now. The Vikings, they got JJ, but their defense is still kind of, I don't know. And I think the Lions are better than both of them. So I was going to go Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears.
That's probably my inclination at this point. I think if we had done this last week, I probably would put the Lions first. So this is one where it probably, I think, did move me down on the Lions. I think it has to. I think they'll figure it out. I think they will be better than they looked against the Packers here. So I agree. I don't think the sky is falling, but there's just so little room for error. Yeah. And their schedule is really hard this year, much harder than last year. So their road schedule is absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. And then games like the Steelers, which coming into the season, I had been oh, okay, well, they got the Ravens and that's tough. The Bengals will be hard to stop, but maybe we can take that in the Steelers. They won't be that good, but the Steelers looked pretty good, man.
Yep, they did.
So I think the Lions second. The Vikings, I mean, it's all hinging on JJ McCarthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if McCarthy's good, then they might do it. And they maybe can finish second or even do enough to finish first. It's hard to think, but the Packers have been together enough. They have continuity.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of young talent.
Mm-hmm.
And no real superstars outside of Parsons and maybe McKinney at safety, but they're all just good.
Yeah.
Just good players all the way around, good to great. And that continuity and just that experience is just really working for them. So
they're
and then
Eagles.
the Bears, I mean, the Bears, who knows? Like, yeah, they're like a less talented Eagles version of the Eagles.
Yeah,
like,
not the Bears. The Packers is who we're talking about right now. By
yeah,
the way.
the Packers. The Bears are such a crapshoot because you just don't know. Like, apparently Caleb didn't look great in preseason or in like training camp. We don't know. Like, Aaron Glenn seems like he's done a good job with the Jets in terms of getting them turned around. I don't know what Johnson has really done with the Bears, so we'll see. I mean, they play tonight, so I guess we'll get a sense of things. They play the Vikings tonight, and that's the Monday night game. But I have to put them fourth until otherwise proven. But like, so obviously we would expect the Packers to make the playoffs. Then, do you expect the Lions to make the playoffs, or do you expect them to miss?
No, I do. I expect them to grab one of the wild cards. And so far, I think out of the wild cards, I've got Commanders and Lions in the wild card spot.
Because they'll have to win probably 10 or 11 games to make it, right?
Yeah.
Which, with their schedule, it's going to be tough. But I mean,
look at the rest of the teams here. The NFC South. I think, I don't know that anybody comes out of here. The Falcons looked decent, but I don't think they're going to have anything to prove. And then out of this, you can probably pick another wild card out of here. And we'll talk about these in a minute. You could pick one other wild card out of the NFC West. I don't think the South offers anything. I think the North and the East will both give you an extra playoff spot.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's move to the South. The Buccaneers knocked off the Falcons yesterday. That was our
game.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a real fun game. The last 2 minutes of that game, though, took about 45 minutes because there was like 3 reviews. There was just so much going on. It was a fun game, though. There was a missed kick. It was cool. I live in Tampa. I'm not the biggest fan of the Bucs. I kind of have a soft spot for them, and I always end up going to a game or two every year. Just randomly getting tickets or whatever. And so like I don't mind them. I do like Baker Mayfield, and I have always liked Baker Mayfield, and we've talked about this on this show before, but I think he got done dirty in Cleveland, and I think he's got a decent amount of talent around him. Mike Evans notwithstanding, but Emeka Agbua, like he's an Ohio State grad, and so or an Ohio State kid, and like I can't root for an Ohio State kid just with my Michigan roots and all, but man, he looks real good. Buccaneers and the Falcons, the Saints and the Panthers, like the Saints and the Panthers, like who cares? Like those teams are trash. I think it's going to look like this right now. I think this is going to be Bucs, Falcons, Saints, Panthers. What about you?
I don't know what to make of the Saints. Like the Saints coming into the season, I have no expectation because they're like perennially in a like where we refuse to rebuild mode.
It's true.
Like, because like they've been in cap like purgatory for years now, and they just refuse to like actually let the contracts run out and like kind of reset and come at it. I guess their owner just refuses to allow them to actually like have a couple years where it's like, hey, we're rebuilding, like we're not trying to go for it right now. So they're always like half going for it, but it's not good. But I also kind of expected the Panthers to be better, like because they finished last season fairly strong, and I was like, okay, well, I don't expect them to be great, but I'm like, well, maybe if they carry over some of how they were looking in the second half of last season, which they looked good in the second half of last season, that they might probably not do anything really, but at least take a step and like be a decent, like, contend a bit, like, one of those teams that you don't really want to play. They'll play you tough, even if you end up beating them. But they got kind of walked by the Jaguars. And that was a weird game.
That was
with the like stop in the middle of it because of the weather or whatever. But like I don't expect the Jags to be very good either.
No.
And they got kind of stomped by the Jags. And so it's like, I kind of agree. I think this is probably it. Maybe the Falcons contend for a wild card because I mean they played the Bucs tough.
They were at home.
Bijan is good, and what's his name? The second-year quarterback, Penix. He looked solid, I thought. But I mean, when you get like 7 shots at the end zone or whatever they had at the end of that game, and you don't get it, that's a tough look, man. Like you got to be able to come up with something when you have that many bites at the apple. That like. I know scoring when you're right on the line can be tough, but I feel like they kind of overthought it. Like have a great running back, you have a great offensive line. Why are you overthinking this? Like
just push. Yep.
Just push. Just try to like Bijan's going to get you a yard or two if you give him an opportunity. Like, why are you doing like toss and swing pass and like all this other? I don't know. Anyway, so they could have won that game. But yeah, I think the Bucs are talented enough. They're good enough defensively. The Baker and that offense, like they're going to score a lot of points.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree. I think the Bucs will win it again. We'll see. Maybe the Falcons can get it together a little bit, though.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it. I have a soft spot for the Falcons as well, just because my oldest, it's his favorite team. But Bucs, Falcons, Saints, Panthers. Let's move to the West then. 49ers, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks. The Rams losing, I did not, or the Rams having such a close game, I did not anticipate. I think if we're going to take this inside the division, though, I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Cardinals. I definitely don't know what to make of the Seahawks. I think the 49ers are kind of overrated, personally.
Yeah,
and I think the Rams are the best out of a bad bunch here.
Yeah, between these, I would probably pick the Rams. I think their defense is really good, especially that defensive line is excellent.
Yes.
And that will keep them in any game as long as Stafford doesn't like need a walker by the end of the season with his back like exploding. I think they will be okay. I mean, the dude has been just beat up so much.
It's
like
Detroit's fault.
It's Detroit's fault. He's like, the dude has just been absolutely battered over the course of his career. Like, so, but if Stafford can be healthy and like can play even at like 80% of what Stafford can do with that defensive line, I think they have a good shot. And yeah, the Niners, I don't have a lot of faith in them. Maybe I should. I didn't really pay attention to, right. Yeah, the Arizona, like they beat New Orleans, but that's another one where it's like, are you worse than I thought you were?
Yes.
Or like, are you like, because like New Orleans, like again, I know they looked okay for a couple of games last year, but like there's nothing there, is there?
No.
And then San Fran beat Seattle. I didn't see anything of that game. Like I didn't even see clips of that game. So like I don't know what to take away from that. The Seahawks, I think, are fine. I don't really have a lot of belief in Sam Darnold. I know he had a good year with the Vikings, but like I just don't think there's anything really there.
No.
And then I think they're like a solid team. I don't know if they're a great team. And the Niners, yeah, I think their time has just mostly passed. Like I think it's just kind of passed them by. I don't know if they really have it. Like CMC, I think is just, you're not going to get a season out of him.
Nope.
Kittle is also pretty injury prone.
Yep.
Like Trent Williams, you know, he's like 38 or whatever he is. You're just not going to get that many more cracks at that with him at left tackle.
Yep.
So Purdy's not going to carry a team. Like Purdy is like a Goff. Like Purdy can excel in a great situation around him, but he's not going to elevate a team that's like mediocre. So I just can't see it. I think it's going to be Rams,
Niners or Cardinals.
Nine. Oof.
Yeah, exactly.
The Cardinals are just so inconsistent. I never know what to make of them. Any year where it's like, yeah, the Cardinals might be good this year. It's like they never. And my buddy's a big Cardinals fan, so I've gotten this kind of from him of like just the frustration around them. Like Kyler Murray probably has all the potential in the world, but just like it seems like it doesn't really come together most of the time. And like they have talent, but it's just. Yeah, I probably have to put the Niners second.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably Rams, Niners, Cardinals, Seahawks. I don't feel great about that. And if the Seahawks finish it honestly past the Rams, I could kind of see anyone doing it. Maybe the Niners will surprise me, but I don't think so.
So we go, where did we start here? We'll go Eagles, Packers, Bucs, Rams. I think this is just me, the other three, Commanders, Lions, and either the Falcons or the Niners. Who do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the most reasonable. There always could be some surprises, but I think that's probably the most reasonable expectation from them.
What if the Panthers? What if they're the wild card?
Hey, man, I got nothing against the Panthers, but I don't know. I really was hoping that they would come out better than they did. Like, because the second half of the season, they legitimately looked good last year. And so I was hoping they would kind of carry it over, but they didn't seemingly.
Yeah.
And again, that was a weird game, you know, with the pause and like whatever, but they didn't look great before the pause and they didn't look great after it. So like, I just can't.
Yeah.
that team still just, I think, is not talented enough. Like there just isn't enough there offensively, defensively. Like I just don't think they have enough. Yeah, if they keep building that, Bryce Young showed growth last year. Maybe they can do something, but I don't know.
Real quick before we go here, I want to get your thoughts on two teams. Number one, the Colts and Danny Dimes. How did you feel? How did you feel about the Colts just slinging it? Danny Dimes in particular, just slinging it. Comeback player of the year. What do you think?
So I did my fantasy draft like last weekend before the season started, and I basically drafted the starters, and then I had to go do some stuff with Sarah, so I just let it auto draft. And so my quarterbacks, we do a 2 quarterback league, and two starting running backs, 2 starting quarterbacks,
Jeez.
3 starting receivers.
You guys
so it's a pretty big. Yeah. And I always draft running backs first and like wait on quarterbacks. So usually I don't end up with a lot of winners at quarterback. So my 2 quarterbacks are Dak and CJ Stroud.
Oh.
So like, and the computer auto drafted for me Danny Dimes as my backup quarterback, who of course I didn't start this week because like, why on earth ever would I? Right. Like when I saw that afterwards, after it was done and I came back, I'm like, oh man, I got stuck with Daniel Jones on this mediocre Colts team. He had like quadruple the number of points of either Dak or CJ Stroud this week. Like Dak and CJ both had terrible weeks, like 9 or 10 points somewhere in there, and he had 33 points or something. Like it's funny. I don't know, man. Like I don't know. That division is bad, but like I expected the Texans to be better, so I don't know if it's just that the Rams front dominated that offensive line and that's why the Texans did so bad, because I expected them to be pretty good, but I know that O-line is still kind of shaky.
Yeah.
Because they have a good defensive line and like good corners and a lot of good weapons. So like I expect them to be good, but man, that Colts team, I don't know. Like again, how bad are the Dolphins? Are the Dolphins just that terrible, or are the Colts actually like decent? I don't really know what to make of that, but like all of the talk during the off season, and like because they had the joint practice with the Lions and they looked bad in that, the Dolphins, and people were like, the sky's not falling. Maybe the sky is falling for the Dolphins. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of the talk down here has been so we get a lot of Tampa talk, but we also get a decent number of Dolphins fans, and on the socials down here, they're blowing Mike McDaniel up. I think Bill Simmons called him, what do you call him? Mike Mc one day closer to death. And which I think is very funny because of the comment he made on Hard Knocks. Stuff like that. Like I think it's very funny. They're anticipating he loses his job. Okay, so that was the first thing. The second thing, you were talking about I had to auto draft mine as well. My entire thing. It happened. But so I ended up with, for my quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes in fantasy is always awful. He just is. He's never a good fantasy quarterback.
Great real quarterback, not a great fantasy quarterback.
No. And Justin Herbert. And I started Pat Mahomes thinking like, okay, he's gonna want to show out. It's the first week of the season. And Justin Herbert, obviously Justin Herbert played like Josh Allen. And so my second question is, are the Chargers for real this year? I know we're one game in, but
we talked about it when we recorded our last episode.
I know
that I didn't know what to make of this division outside of the Chiefs. Like, obviously, I still expect the Chiefs to win.
Sure.
And get first. Like, I think until proven otherwise, I'm just going to bet on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes to make it work.
Yeah.
But I think I was fairly high on the Chargers last time we talked, that like basically you could kind of convince me of any of these three doing it. And like Justin Herbert, obviously he has a lot of fans, a lot of detractors, but their defense is solid. They want to run the ball. Like Harbaugh's schemes and that I think is all like pretty solid.
Yeah.
And if Herbert can just make enough plays, like I don't know, man. They're dangerous. Like that division is tough. That's a tough division.
It is.
Outside of being maybe the most ridiculously stacked like coaching division in NFL history. Like It's like,
True.
it's a tough division.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Andy Reid, you got freaking Pete Carroll, you got Jim Harbaugh, and you got from the Saints, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Like, that's a ridiculous quarterback or ridiculous coaching competition there. So I think the Chargers are legit. Like, I mean, will this continue? I don't know.
No,
but like, I think they're legit, and I expect them to compete for a playoff spot. I do. Like, I think they can.
Yeah, we'll see. The other wah of the week, I got AJ Brown on my team, and I was like, all right, AJ Brown. He got me 1 point. It's like, what are we doing?
That's the thing with the Eagles, man. They're like AJ Brown. There was drama last year too. I mean, obviously it ended up working out for them, but because they want to run the ball, like they just want to run it with Saquon, and then Jalen Hurts got like 3 rushing touchdowns or whatever. Like, there's just so many things to take the ball away from you. Yeah. You got Gibbs, okay, yeah. Did you win week 1?
No, I lost by.
I guess it's not. I guess it's not done.
No,
are both of you done?
Yeah, he doesn't have. We're done. He doesn't have any. I lost 98 to 95, 98.7 to 95.9, which hurts. It hurts big time.
Old man Kelsey on your team. Okay.
Yeah, this is like the chalk starters that I
picked. It was auto draft, right? So it's tough.
I auto drafted.
Oh, yeah. No, Nick Chubb is on the Rams, man. Poor Nick Chubb.
Yeah, no, he's on Houston.
Oh, against the Rams. He's on Houston. Oh, sorry, I misread it. On Houston. Okay.
Yeah, but Justin was projected for 16. He got almost 28. Like, that hurts.
You never know with him because, again, they do want to run the ball there. So it's one of those schemes where it's like you just don't know what kind of points he's going to put up.
Yeah.
I won, but that's mostly because I had Bijan. I have my running backs are Bijan Robinson and Derrick Henry.
Okay.
And Derrick.
Well, Derrick had that fumble. Outside of the fumble, he did good, but out of that one fumble.
Yeah, he had like 2 touchdowns and 190 yards or something. So he had a good day.
Yeah.
Even though they lost, of course. So
I anticipate I anticipate both of our teams to be a little bit better. And we'll do a breakdown later. Sure. I'm not going to play I can't play Kelsey week in and week out. Like, there's just no way.
Do you have a backup tight end?
No, I gotta go pick that up.
I ended up getting Tucker Kraft. Going with Tucker Kraft, I gambled on the
let's see if he's still
hype. Some of the hype with the Packers. He had a good week, so, or at least he had a touchdown anyway, which is all I really care about. Like,
he's not.
I don't expect him to have a lot of yards from week to week, but I gambled on some of the upside there, so we'll see.
I'm gonna
anyway.
Tyler Higbee.
So that's our breakdown for the NFC with a little side of fantasy football for y'all.
There you go. Congratulations to us. We did it. I can't drop anybody yet. Oh, that's right, because the week is still going on.
Week's not done.
Yeah, I'll have to pick. I'll have to try to trade. You've tuned into Sports Guy Talk. Thanks for listening to Sports Guy Talk. We'll be back probably later on in the year. I want to get kind of like maybe a week 8, week 9 sort of mid-season update. And we'll be talking about the Lions a little bit more because that's near and dear to our heart. But Templar, enjoy Monday Night Football, and we'll see everybody later. Love you. Bye.